everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Olive Badger, and we've got some crazy updates today regarding that payment processing censorship issue we have been viewing for the past week. If you're a Steam Power user, an itch.io indie fan, or just someone who hates corporate overreach in entertainment, hit that like button and subscribe now, because today we are diving into the exploding Mastercard Visa controversy. Because guess what? Mastercard claims they're not censoring adult games, but the evidence says otherwise. I've compiled some receipts from platforms, activists, media giants, and even international pushback that'll blow your mind. So stick around till the end for itch.io's game-changing plan to break free from this mess. Let's get into it. Imagine firing up Steam or itch.io for your next visual novel or mature-themed adventure. Not my thing. Perfectly fine if it's yours, though. Sadly, you find out that your entire library's been wiped out. No trace, no explanation. That's the nightmare unfolding right now in gaming, with thousands of adult titles vanishing due to alleged pressure from payment behemoths like Mastercard and Visa. Mastercard fired back with a statement basically saying, "We're not evaluating games or forcing removals. We're just about legal compliance, blocking unlawful stuff like illegal adult content." Sure. Because they're positioning themselves as neutral enforcers, not censors. But if that sounds too clean, you're right. It's riddled with contradictions. Let's unpack why Mastercard's defense doesn't hold even the tiniest bit of water, using some hard evidence from Steam updates, itch.io admissions, campaign groups, blah, 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 blah. Starting with Steam. On July 16th, 2025, Valve stealthily revised their content rules, outright banning certain kinds of adult-only content that clashes with credit card company guidelines. In a rare confirmation to PC Gamer, Valve admitted they delisted hundreds of games to prevent losing payment processing entirely. A move that could cripple the platform for everyone. And this wasn't random. It followed an open letter from Australian anti-porn group Collective Shout to processors, including Mastercard and Visa, accusing Steam of hosting over 500 games promoting themes like sexual violence and incest. Collective Shout celebrated the changes as a win, boasting about mobilizing over 1,000 supporters to bombard the companies with calls. Developers and insiders are adamant this is Mastercard's influence at work, not mere legal tweaks. Remember, Nier Automata creator Yoko Taro flagged credit card meddling as a massive threat over a year ago. If Mastercard isn't pulling strings, why does Steam directly blame payment provider rules for the purge? Shifting to itch.io, the scrappy indie platform known for creative freedom, founder Leif Corcoran dropped a blog post confessing they're hiding all NSFW content from search and browse features because of intense scrutiny from payment processors. It kicked off with Collective Shout zeroing in on a game called No Mercy, but snowballed into a site-wide audit with some titles facing permanent bans. Their follow-up FAQ is crystal clear. Stripe payments for 18+ content are on ice, pending reviews from processors like PayPal, all intertwined with Mastercard and Visa networks. Itch.io devs, such as those on projects like A Tale of Crowns, are vocal about the forced compliance, warning it's a slippery slope for artistic expression. Non-violent or thematic games are getting caught in the crossfire too. If Mastercard hasn't imposed restrictions, explain why itch.io is overhauling everything just to maintain payment viability. Collective Shout's role can't be ignored either. They're the spark that lit this fire. Their July 2025 campaign targeted payment giants directly, demanding they sever ties with Steam and itch.io over alleged rule-breaking content. In interviews with Eurogamer, they admitted approaching processors because platforms didn't respond to prior complaints. They've got a track record, pulling GTA from Aussie shelves and blocking tours. While they claim no intent for blanket bans, their actions triggered exactly that, as itch.io confirmed. This isn't grassroots activism, it's leveraging financial leverage for moral policing, with Mastercard seemingly complicit. The press is hammering this home, exposing Mastercard's fingerprints. The Guardian broke down how Mastercard and Visa caved to the letter, fueling a petition surging past 147,000 signatures, decrying it as outright censorship. PC Gamer and Polygon report platforms bending over backward to avoid total payment blackouts. Picture Steam without cards. Chaos. Wired and The Verge draw parallels to Tumblr's 2018 adult content purge, labeling it financial censorship that stifles creators. IGN and GameRant spotlight the critical pressure extending the games, touching on heavy themes like mental health. Even the International Game Developers Association weighed in, blasting the removals and calling for processor transparency. This media storm isn't hype, it's a consensus that Mastercard's compliance is code for control. Digging into history reveals a damning pattern as well. Back in 2021, Mastercard strong-armed OnlyFans into a near ban on adult content that ultimately was reversed amid uproar, and enforced strict IDs, consent checks on porn sites, causing deplatforming on Pornhub. They've long targeted Japanese retailers too. Sites selling legal doujinshi indie manga comics lost Mastercard support over content deemed high risk, even if fully compliant. This echoes broader moves where processors dictate terms to quote-unquote protect their brand. As Visa Japan's CEO outright stated when disabling payments for adult doujin and hentai legal, no ties to illegal material like CSAM, but banned anyway. Critics, including the ACLU, argue this pushes industries underground, harming free speech. If MasterCard isn't restricting, why do these precedents scream otherwise? And now the pushback is heating up internationally, especially from Japan, a powerhouse in gaming and adult content creation. For years, Visa and MasterCard have squeezed Japanese sites like DL Site and Melon Books, banning card payments for legal adult games and doujin to safeguard their image, as confirmed by Visa Japan's leadership. But Japan isn't rolling over. In response to the recent Steam and itch.io crackdowns, which hit many Japanese-developed titles pretty hard, the Japanese Fair Trade Commission is investigating Visa and MasterCard for anti-competitive practices. Sources like Automaton Media report the FTC views these payment bans as unfair market dominance, potentially violating antitrust laws by dictating content on unrelated platforms. Politician Taro Yamada has publicly slammed it as a threat to Japan's creative economy, rallying support for regulatory action. Game creators like Yoko Taro are amplifying the call, warning it endangers artistic freedom worldwide. X posts from Japanese users and devs highlight government retaliation with memes and threads urging boycotts and legal challenges. This isn't just talk, it's escalating to potential fines or forced policy reversals in Japan, setting a precedent that could ripple globally. Gamers there are flooding social media, tying it to broader fights against foreign corporate interference in local industries. The community backlash is beyond ferocious, proving MasterCard's denial is gaslighting. On X, users dissect their 2021 policies, celebrated by anti-trafficking advocates, but blasted for overreach. Posts accuse them of hypocrisy, focusing on legal adult stuff while ignoring bigger issues. Currently, petitions are exploding, boycotts gaining traction, and even Elon Musk has boosted calls to curb payment processors' power over legal entertainment. Gamers are overwhelming customer service lines, escalating complaints to HQ, and sharing stories of sites like Pixiv, Fanbox crippled without Visa or MasterCard for months. Community notes and threads compile evidence from dev testimonials to leaked emails, showing processors' threats aren't passive. It's a digital uprising with thousands demanding accountability. Whew, that's the full expose on MasterCard's shaky claims, from Steam's confessions and itch.io's audits to collective shouts campaigns, media takedowns, historical meddling, Japan's fierce retaliation, and the roaring community. The proof stacks up. This is corporate censorship masked as caution, but hope's on the horizon, guys, because itch.io took a proactive stance. In their latest updates, they've declared they're actively reaching out to other payment processors more open to adult content. Stripe's paused for 18-plus transactions while they navigate reviews, but itch.io is pushing forward with content classification overhauls, enhanced age gating, and a clear prohibited themes list. The CEO voiced frustration, but commitment to creators, noting their smaller scale limits pushback compared to Steam giants. This hunt for alternatives could pioneer a censorship-resistant model, maybe even inspiring Steam or others to diversify. It's a small but definitely a beacon for indie gaming's future. But what about you guys? Has this hit your library, or are you joining the pushback? Are you, like me, also worried about the precedent that this could set in the control that payment processors have? Are you worried as well about what this might mean as they try to branch out? Sound off in the comments. And if this deep dive fired you up, smash that like button, subscribe. Gaming exposés, tech knowledge, and some movie and a little bit of entertainment. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. Bye.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Very obviously, if they are already relenting and trying to make statements about this, it is very clear that they are worried about public sentiment shifting. Do not stop. Keep going. And now go twice as hard. Go twice as hard. Never harass, never abuse, never break the law, but be insistent, persistent, direct, focused, and forceful with what you say. That's it.